All right, yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're gonna talk about it. A lot of you saw that interview yesterday with Dr. Smalls on Dr. Maat's channel, and those other two guys. I'm gonna do a bit of a review on that, mostly on the other two guys more so than what Dr. Smalls says, and I'm gonna use those other two guys as examples as to why we delineate. We're gonna talk about that. I'm also gonna pull up the video that you guys told me to talk about with Robin Walker when it came to our rhythms. I want to address that video because a lot of y'all asked me to. I saw the whole video. Hopefully I got the right video because a lot of y'all told me to watch the video, but none of y'all sent me the goddamn video. But there was a video, and I had already seen it a few months ago with him addressing Black American rhythms. And overall, I would go so far as say 95% of that video is accurate. But when it got to the funk situation, I'm going to address respectfully how he didn't accurately capture funk, and that was done in a way to connect funk to Africa. There's absolutely no connection with funk to Africa, and I'm going to prove that using the example the great Dr. Robin Walker used. And again, with respect. So we're gonna address what happened in the interview. We're gonna address Robin Walker. I want to start off by saying rest in peace, Uncle Moon. I went to Uncle Moon's I went to his memorial service. He's one of my dad's best friends. And I grew up in a beautiful Black American environment here in LA. With great people like Uncle Moon. This is, you know, he had the Bluetooth in his ear. Brothers in the Bluetooth. But this was the Moon I remember when I was a kid, right here. Uncle Moon had that Cadillac with the afro. This was the Uncle Moon of when I was a kid, right here. It keep getting blurry, right there. And we all, if you Black American, you all had that uncle, man. And he's the uncle I told you about when we lived on 70 on Western and Florence. I was probably I couldn't have been older than 5 because we moved out of that place by the time I was 5. I was at some apartments on Western and Florence, and they used to gamble in the hallway and do all kind of shit. Piss in the hallway, gamble. This is mid '80s LA. Crack. Early days of crack. Man, Uncle Moon heard about that. He didn't tell my dad. He didn't tell my mom. He said, Miss Brown, I see them playing dice in the hallway. Do they do that every day? And she was like, yeah. So a couple days go by. A neighbor come by and was like, hey, you and your family members, man, they ran them gangsters up out of here. And we were like, huh? And so Uncle Moon came back by like the next day. He said, Red, because that's my dad's nickname. Hey, Red, Miss Brown. He always called my mom Miss Brown. Red, Miss Brown. Have y'all seen those motherfuckers gambling in the hallway? And they're like, come think of it, no. He said, yeah, because I came up in this motherfucker last Friday night when they was gambling, and I brought my motherfucking shotgun. And I walked up in that motherfucker and cranked it one more time, and I let one off. And I said, if you motherfuckers is in this got motherfucking hallway again, gambling in front of Miss Brown and Miss Brown's kids, I'm going to put one of these motherfucking slugs in your motherfucking ass. That was Uncle Moon. That was Uncle Moon. He really was. Motherfucker was just one of his favorite words. He could say motherfucker with the best of them. Couldn't nobody out motherfuck Uncle Moon. But rest in peace. And I was there with my dad, and it was the old black men in Bluetooths. One of those days where all the brothers had the Bluetooth in their ear. So I want to start off by bringing up just my love. I got to, it was a sad occasion. It was good to be around the culture, and my dad telling me stories about he and Uncle Moon when Malcolm X's mosque was shot up in LA right when the riots happened. they went and shot up Malcolm X's mosque, which is on the end corner from where my dad and Uncle Moon lived. And they took the kids in the neighborhood, the Muslims, on a field trip through the mosque. And my dad was telling me how the bullet holes went through the front and out the back door and into the houses behind it when the LAPD came and shot up Malcolm X's mosque. So it was really good hearing those stories, from the elders. I had never knew that. I grew up right down the street from that mosque the whole time and never knew that story until Saturday. So salute to the foundational Black Americans, and to everybody, but we have our own distinct culture. And I'm using that as a lead in to this discussion that we're going to have right here, where you got these two people, and a respect to Dr. Ma'at, but these other two people that she had on her panel were mighty disrespectful. And we're going to address their disrespect of us and what we were saying. And then we're going to give a correction with love from with Dr. Robin Walker and what he had to say about our music coming, our funk coming from Africa. Hell no. With that being said, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Lady Hotep, Sinister, Amir, Scotty Jenkins, DSB, Kendall, Mr. Smoke. I appreciate all y'all for joining. I appreciate all y'all for joining. Hey, Brooke, I'm not fucking with you, Brooke. Brooke, I see you. What's up, show? Frank Green, everybody been here again. I say welcome to y'all, and we're going to we're gonna sit here and we're gonna break this down, and we're gonna talk about it. All right. So y'all want to start with Dr. Small? I'm gonna start with this Dr. Small stuff first because I see y'all ready for it. This nigga said it's that Bobby Clinton Smith. Man, get your 5150 ass out of here, nigga. This motherfucker, I know exactly what you nigga said, Bobby. Hey, you 5150 watchers, y'all niggas is stupid as fuck, dog. I know what is a 5150 nigga in the chat. Salute to all the 5150 niggas in the chat, man. Y'all some funny motherfuckers, boy. Y'all some funny motherfuckers. Nah, Brooks, stay your way. Don't change. Do not change. Even where we see things slightly different, I still 1000% have respect for it and understand where it comes from. Our DSB gifted 10 memberships. Appreciate that, DSB 225. Appreciate that. Memberships is where you can go when I play music on the show and YouTube take it out. I upload, I keep that on as a member. The members get to hear the music. And the stuff that whenever YouTube has me edit things, that's what your membership grants you guys. Whenever YouTube has me edit things, I get the full unfiltered version. I keep that in the membership and I edit it and put the edited version on YouTube. So that's what you guys as a membership gives you guys. Appreciate that. But let's get into it. All right, let's go. So I'm gonna start off with some comments that Dr. Smalls made, and I want to address this.
And cause the collapse of that movement in this country. You can go all through our history and see.
He's addressing the CIA part, and where he was the angle he was coming from. Let's listen to what he had to say, then I'll respond.
And so the unity of groups caused the death of many of our leaders. We saw it all the way back to Garvey. Garvey's group was infiltrated by the American government by a black man. All right. And because other black people in the organization had issues with Garvey, they were able to cause that divide of putting Garvey in jail for one envelope with a stamp on it where they charged him with fraud.
So he's talking about, right so far on this part, He's talking about I'm already trying to get myself a screenshot so that I don't. Here we go. I got myself a screenshot. I don't want to play the video. I don't know if I'm get. I don't want to get a strike. I don't want to get a strike. So hold on, y'all. Let me airdrop this screenshot to myself to put over this. Let me airdrop myself this screenshot. There we go. So I'm put this over so we don't get no. So we're not playing video. This is the I appreciate the super chat, DSB. Josh, thank you, my brother, keeping these lion tethers in line. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. So he's setting up talking about how it was internal fighting that ended Marcus Garvey's movement. The one key thing I keep taking from this is the FBA thing. Although Tariq gets credit for coining the term, is independent of his leadership. What Tariq did was, and you, along with you, Dr. Smalls, what y'all did was y'all put a notion in a lot of people's minds to go look up their own genealogy, their own family history. Yeah, I told y'all before, my wife put the notion in my mind just before the FBA thing really took off, about a few years before that. My wife was really on my head about going into my family history. And so right as I'm going into my own family history, the FBA ADOS battles took off. And it resonated with me because I was already on the path. I was like, yo, I got this much ancestry here at home. Whoa. So it's you keep trying to make it an organization and it's not that. But let's go.
Mm-hmm. And cause the collapse of that movement in this country. You can go all through our history and see it. Mm-hmm. I was just trying to make that point that those who foster and this division between those from the continent, the Caribbean, and those from the United States are playing in the hands of the U.S. government.
Okay,
now, that's wrong. If anybody,
I get that. There's nothing that we can't look. Let's make something very clear. I want to make something very clear to people. There is no movement on earth in America that's not going to play into the hands of the government, because that's why you don't do organization. That's why FBA is not an organization. This is different than, okay, let's all go and unite and buy. Marcus Garvey was buying a bunch of ships and doing things as a black with global white supremacy. Yeah, you're right. They'll thwart that all day with global white supremacy, and oftentimes it'll be a black person within the organization is going to be the main one that thwarts that shit. But when people you can't thwart a mindset. When people have a mindset of being connected to the land that they stand on, that's different than anything that we've gone through before. So although I still have respect for the elder and the history and what he's done in the past, the battlefield has changed. This is what we're doing right now is way different than some organizational thing. If everybody associated with FBA, Native Black American, if they found a way to discredit them overnight, that wouldn't change how I feel about when I pull up my family legacy. That doesn't change when I pull up, like I said before. You got these weird niggas on the second part of the video that I'm gonna talk about. We don't know our history and shit. Well, you can't change anything when I can pull up in books settlements my family had as of January 1st, 1900. You can't attack Tariq Nasheed and get me up off this. Okay? You cannot attack Tariq Nasheed and get me up off some of these Robert Settlement homecoming. My family's been in Robert Settlement, Indiana. Last July was the 103rd anniversary, the 103rd in a row family reunion. This is a picture from our settlement in 1949 at a family reunion on a piece of land that my family bought in that land in 1835 in Indiana. This is what the whole, from at least for me, Maybe it could be some extremists out there. I don't know. But for me, this is about preserving what my family built, yo. Like, I can pull this shit up. This isn't about me following some dude saying, "Oh yeah, look at what he doing." No, this is my family, nigga. Like, I don't know what people don't get about that.
See that as a negative. I don't
You
understand
don't
how
understand.
it can be negative.
So Professor James Small, at any point,
No, not that. It was one. It was one more point I wanted to make with Brother Smalls, and then I'm going to get to those other cats. Where am I? One picture. One of my dad's homeboys at the funeral. You see his hat? That's where I was this past week. You see the hat and the Bluetooth? The hat and the Bluetooth? Mr. Robinson, one of my dad's childhood friends. Man, I love us as a culture. I love us as a culture.
The people told them there was never any slave ships. Slavery never happened. And I'm listening to all of this and go like, wait a minute, that's not. And anyone with an accent from the continent Caribbean gets jumped upon. I go like, where is all of that coming from? What has that to do with the history of the most courageous African people in the world? Mm-hmm. Those of us who had.
I'm gonna answer that. On that point he just made, Mr. Smalls was asking, okay, what does just us jumping on Africans and cracking jokes have to do with any of this? Let me answer that. What that has to do with it is, and I want to make this very clear to everybody out there listening. Culturally, we like I said before, we talk shit, we crack jokes. I don't care if you got money. If you got money in a nice car, niggas are gonna be like, who this nigga think he is with all that money in a nice car? And his nose still big though. I don't care. You still got a booty chin. We gonna find whatever flaw we got. We be cracking jokes. So if somebody says that they nowhere in this video did they address Africans coming at us and people across the diaspora telling us we have no culture. From the day-to-day person on Twitter Spaces, because if you listen to Tariq's Twitter Spaces, he is pleasant to people, and when they jump, he jumps, and that's how it is all the time. Y'all saw the conversation I had yesterday on this show when that dude called in from Jamaica trying to tell us about our history. You saw I was very respectful to him, and it still ended with we have no culture. They never addressed that part. When you come at us like that, we gonna come right back. Like, gloves off. Yes, right, Landon. Jealousy is a very powerful emotion that people often underestimate. Right. Like, think about us. When you, as much crap as these people have been talking, our only response has been jokes. We ain't shot up no Caribbean Day festival like these other cultures would do. We ain't we ain't shot up no Jollof Rice Festival. We ain't killing nobody. We ain't beating people up. We ain't doing no physical violence. Other cultures within Nigeria. I remember one time when I was on Craig Facts. Y'all remember Dozy on Craig Facts? I remember one episode he was talking about when they catch somebody doing something they don't like, they'll put them in a tire and burn them. Lady Hotep, I know you used to watch Craig Facts. People here used to watch Craig Facts. Do y'all remember when Dozy said that? When Dozy said, this Dozy was in Nigeria on our show. He said, yeah, when they go at it in Africa, you end up in a tire. I was like, what? And I heard that from a Nigerian. I didn't search that on the internet. We ain't gonna do no shit like that, man. We not gonna do nothing like that because that ain't right. But we will talk about your mama. We'll talk about your bucked ass teeth. We'll talk about your big ass nose that you can fit these Bluetooths in. Niggas got Bluetooth nostrils, can fit all up in that motherfucker. We'll talk about your big ass forehead if you're from East Africa. Yes, the fuck we will. If you from Ethiopia and we ain't gonna just talk about your forehead. But if you just come in the door talking shit, being disrespectful of the culture, we gonna be like, what it do, forehead? What's up, headquarters? What you thinking about? Nigga, where's Pinky? Because I see you the brain. When we done, we ain't gonna take it personal. We gonna move on. And within 7 minutes of us talking shit, we gonna be done forgot what we said. You should thank us for that. You should be thankful that the way Black Americans handle our tribal disagreements is with jokes and not with bloodshed. I think that we have to, Black folks, I think that we have to pat ourselves on the back for that. Look at how look at how much scrutiny our tribal differences are under. Oh, why y'all gotta say this? Why y'all gotta say that? We ain't shooting nobody. The fuck? Like, are we supposed to, like, dude, are we supposed to just take it and not respond? It's like people can throw shit all day and we're just supposed to be like, okay, we still gonna come together. We still gonna come together. We still gonna come together. No, our generation is different, my brother. We're not gonna take that shit. And I think that we as a culture do need to stick our chests out that our culture's way of handling this shit is jokes and not physical bloodshed. Because in Africa, they haven't proven that they can't handle their tribal differences without physical bloodshed. Look at what's going on in the north of Nigeria right now. Y'all saw back in 2020 what was going on in Tigray over there in East Africa. And then you'll come back and be like, well, what about the Crips and the Bloods? Man, the Crips and the Bloods is kids, and most of those killings is over dick, pussy politics, and drugs. Black people don't just go around killing each other over disagreements like that. You got a handful of kids that don't know how to settle differences. Half these kids are on medicine and never learn how to resolve conflict. I grew up, born and raised in the hood. They ain't never fuck with me. I ain't have to worry about because I'm from a different tribe. I ain't have to worry about, you know why? Because I didn't join the gang. If you didn't join the gang, you don't have to worry about gang shit. But you motherfuckers, y'all born into it. The way the Igbo be undermining the Hausa politically up there. The way the Watusi be undermining other groups in South Africa and being undermined. Hell, it was a lot of Watusi people. I was watching the video recently with some Watusi folks down in South Africa complaining about Nigerians undermining them there. Press the number one if y'all been paying attention to what's been going on in Africa and what Ghanaians are saying about Nigerians. Ghanaians and Nigerians are going at it right now because Ghanaians feel Nigerians are undercutting their economy. This is the political fight. All these niggas is talking about Pan-Africanism. I'm looking at what's going on in Africa. You don't think they're not going to bring that here? Like, what's up? So our response is talking about how ashy their ankles are. Whoop-de-doo. Our response is telling them that they need to stop those raggedy ass stonewashed jeans. Our response is telling Jamaicans to stop wearing so much goddamn cologne. You motherfuckers coming up in here spending like a bottle and a half of Dracar Noir, the black bottle. The fuck is your problem? Our only response to people from the Caribbean is niggas stop wearing white jeans in December. and them pointed ass pointy toe white shoes you got on, and them fake Versace shirts. That's our only response. Our response is wash your motherfucking hair, nigga. That's our response. We ain't shooting. None of that. So I want to point that out, and I want to point that out as something that we need to pat ourselves in the back for. We can't keep running from that. We can't be running from that. So what? We talk.
Fusion and cultural manifestation.
We talk shit. So
America,
what?
that's not my race. That is a geopolitical place. Africa is my race. That's my grandmother, my grandfather, my ancient culture, my ancestors. So I'm
that part right there, where Brother Small says Africa is my grandmother, my grandfather. No, Africa's not. My grandmama and grandfather, if first off, my grandmama and my grandfather wouldn't have sold me. And if a different tribe sold me, my grandmama and my grandfather would have came and got me. My grandmama and grandfather are here. I traced this bloodline back to 1640. God damn, how much further do I gotta go? In 1715, my 8 times great grandfather, Abraham, man of color Scott, was born. In my genealogy, when I look at his records, his name was Abraham Scott, but he was known as man of color. Abraham, man of color, Scott was born in 1715, and in 1738 he married Joan Took, American Indian from the Powhatan tribe, and they were married in 1738. Before there was a thing called the United States of America. Those are my grandparents that I gotta honor. Y'all see my yoga mat? For them body workouts. But that's what I'm saying. Now let us go to these other guys that are on here. I'm gonna skip to the dude in the blue hoodie. He had a whole lot to say, and he wasn't saying shit. Dude in the blue hoodie had a lot to say, but wasn't saying shit. And to finish off that point about my great grandparents being African, do I have African in my blood? Probably. So far, I've traced hundreds, not thousands, hundreds of ancestors, and I haven't found any Africa yet. Is it back there? Probably. But I know I do have ancestors that didn't come over on the ship. I know that. Those do exist. Not saying that on one of my bloodlines, maybe on one of my bloodlines that I've only traced back to the mid 1800s, maybe one of them before there came back to Africa. I don't know. But all the ones I've been able to trace back pre 1800s, pre colonial times, none of them go back to Africa. And whatever does go back to Africa, those ancestors that was here are the ones that created the culture that I live here now. I need my ancestors to help teach me. Black people, I want y'all to answer this question. Who's more equipped? Which ancestors are more equipped to navigate you through your current life circumstances? The ones that were here when this whole situation was created, or the ones that were here before there was even a concept of something called the United States of America? Which ancestors are more equipped? The ones who know you and the land you live upon, or the ones foreign to the land that you're on? Using logic. Which ancestors are you probably going to be most powerful for you to tap into? if you're a child and you know your mother, but your grandmother and your great grandmother are still living. Your grandmother and your great grandmother are still living. And your mom, your mother, and your great grandmother are still living. But you say, you know what? I'm not gonna talk to y'all. I'm gonna go and pray to my dead ancestors who I've never met. I'm going to pray to them, or I can deal with the ancestors who are right here, who could do something for me now. Which ancestors are probably the ones you should spend more time tapping into? That's just logic. And that shouldn't be taken in disrespect to Africa. Because my grandmama held me when I still had that little plastic thing in my navel when my umbilical cord got cut. The first person to hold me after my mom was my grandmother. That's the ancestor I need to be speaking to the most, right? Somebody said the ones that was here got beat down, domesticated. A logical male thing. You got some. You have a shitty family, my homeboy. If your family got beat down, domesticated. My great great granddaddy was a stonemason, and his brother was the first senator in Illinois state history. He wasn't beaten down. Shit. My granddaddy used to tell me stories of Count Basie's band rehearsing in his living room when he was a child before they performed over on Central Avenue. Fuck, if your ancestors got beat down and domesticated, then I see why you talk the way you talk. You a domesticated nigga. I see logical male thing. I can see who raised you. Y'all know what's his name? TK Kirk say who raised you? Well, logical male thing was raised by a bunch of niggas that was beat down and domesticated. My daddy wasn't beat down and domesticated. My daddy drove a Cadillac. Christopher Ellis says, I'm breaking down another broadcast about our recent ancestors. Yeah. Niggas said our ancestors was beaten down, domesticated. My ancestors owned 900 acres in Indianapolis. I mean, just outside of Indianapolis in the year 1840. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, beat down, domesticated. You got a sorry family, my boy. You got a sorry family if you saying some shit like that. But let's go here. Let's go here.
I'm an African because it was born in me.
All right, let's listen to this. This is a dude in the blue. Feel like he's acting like he's going off on us. Let's listen to this.
I heard you say, man, I'm a person from Africa thinking they more African. I heard you say, wait a minute. I'm not an African because I was born in Africa. I'm an African born in me. And then when I went too far to the African side, I heard you say, well, hold on, brother. You need to don't let them take America from you, brother. This was 20 years ago.
The dude's talking about how African he is. And how African he is. And that's fine. This is the guy in the blue talking. I don't mind you being African. But you can claim all the Africa you want. That's the thing about it. Y'all can claim all the Africa that you want. That's fine. But personally, I used to do that. Look, I used to claim all the African shit. I got my statue of Anubis right here. This is an Anubis. Hey, don't tell me I ain't claim my African shit, nigga. The god of death of the afterlife. Hotep, motherfucker. Shit. But I started to get into me and my family and who I know and where I come from. Look at this shit right here. I haven't even gotten to Dr. Robert Walker yet, Black King. You call me an incel and I'm married. The fuck are you talking about? See, this is what happens when this is what us FBA folks got to deal with. We got to deal with trolls like this. We haven't even gotten to talking about the Robert Walker part yet. And you already got somebody talking, calling me an incel, and I'm fucking married. You jack off to VR porn. We different. Shut the fuck up and listen. And when I get to that point, I'm gonna say what I have to say. And if you got a problem with what I say, you can call in. I'm gonna let all you motherfuckers call in. Give me like 20 more minutes to finish breaking this down. And I'm gonna let all you motherfuckers call in who got an issue. All right? So shut up and listen. Ho. Now back to what we talking about.
You don't know yet. Hold on. You made me sit there and hear what you were saying. You made me have conversations. You talk to me.
This is the
you
blue
let
still
me,
crying.
and when it was time to let me go, you let me go. They're not doing that now. You got a group of people that saying Tariq is not the leader. Wait a minute, bro. We're not saying that your name was signed on a piece of paper to the leader. We're saying your actions, the way you command the crowd, the way you bring people in, right, clearly shows that you're the head of something. And that is responsibility. It's not responsible to always say, I'm not the leader. That would not be true.
This is the dude in the blue saying that still trying. This is the dude in the blue still trying to put everything on Tariq. And Tariq said, I'm not the leader. Tariq says he's not the leader because, again, brother in the blue, we don't get our marching orders from Tariq Nasheed. We don't. That's not where our marching orders come from. Our marching orders come from our own sense. Our marching orders come from a refusal of being disrespected. Tariq don't have to tell us that Africans don't like us. All we got to do is turn on Twitter. All we got to do is go to work. Fuck turn on Twitter. Leave the internet out of this and go to a job where the management staff is African and not Black American and watch the mistreatment that you get. The worst teacher I ever had in my life at Westchester High School, and I forgot all about her. That's how irrelevant she was. I was talking to my wife like 2 days ago. Wife, nigga. I was talking to my wife about this like 2 days ago. Me and my wife went to the same high school. And I was like, I forgot all about Miss Ike. It was an African Nigerian lady named Miss Ike. And I remember her trying to, she's always pick on me. And I used to mind my own business in class. This is biology class. Biology was hard. So I had to really focus in biology. I couldn't really joke around. I could joke around in English. I could joke around in history. I couldn't joke around in biology. There wasn't no class clown in that class. But Miss I used to always fuck with me. And I'm not on no delineation stuff. This is 10th grade, 1997, Westchester High School. I ain't thinking about no delineation. But this woman used to have a bug up her ass for me to the point to where she reported me to the principal because I had my basketball inside my bag and I was practicing like my drum rudiments. I was in band and I had some rudiments I had to practice for a song that we were rehearsing. I was on a snare drum, so I was kind of practicing on my ball, my rudiments for band class that was next. And she wrote me up and reported me to the principal and tried to get me suspended for that. And it was just like, God damn. My worst experience in school was with my one African teacher. I never got suspended one time my whole K through 12. I never missed a piece of homework. And if I would miss class, I would still get my homework. I never ditched. I was a great fucking student. Like I didn't fuck around. You know what I mean? And the one time I almost got suspended was by the one motherfucking African teacher that I had. Tariq ain't gotta talk to us about no goddamn disrespectful tethers. All we gotta do is walk outside. We had a disrespectful tether call this show yesterday. I'm over here teaching music history, giving books, giving dates, giving reference sources, and this disrespectful tether still calling in, trying to say we have no culture, and I'm not supposed to call. He's still my brother. Man, suck my dick. In a 1990 way, in a 1991 kind of way. I ain't talking about it in 2025 kind of way. I'm talking about how we used to say it back in 2020, back in 1991, when House Party was out, 1989. I'm saying it in that way. Suck it. I ain't only no damn Tariq to tell me that. Y'all see, the thing is, a lot of y'all got a hard on for Tariq. And his brother in the blue obviously has a hard on for Tariq. Man, please. If y'all get Tariq's dick out y'all mouth, y'all might see what's really going on. But my thing is, these dudes don't really see what's going on because they got Tariq's dick in their mouth. And I'm not even here to defend Tariq. I'm here to defend and to go on offense for myself and make that very clear. This is not about defending Tariq. This is about going on offense for me and my autonomy and how I think, and a lot of us think. There are a lot of people in the chat room who reflect what I'm thinking right now. Tariq mentioned a notion that we all picked up on. It said no more disrespect because of what we deal with in our day-to-day lives offline. My homeboy Reggie is a recruiter. He used to recruit for Twitter. He used to recruit for Microsoft. I don't know who he's recruiting for now. He recruited for Amazon, Facebook. He's a really big-time tech recruiter. He makes a lot of money recruiting for tech. And I remember my boy Reggie telling me, he was like, he used to get incentives from Twitter when he was like, he's like the diversity guy. When they need a diversity guy that's going to bring in diverse talent, he would get incentives for hiring Nigerians over Black Americans. Do y'all know that? I don't know if it was Twitter or Microsoft. It was one of those Silicon Valley companies. He told me straight up that he would get a kicker if he got a Nigerian instead of a Black American. And he also talked about how the reason why he got that kicker was because the Nigerians oftentimes got offered less money. They would take less money. And he ain't trying to get the way he get paid, the more money they get paid, the more money he get paid. So basically, he'd get a kicker to offset the difference in salary to bring in Nigerians because they only had his ass around to be the diversity hirer. This is a fact. My own boy been a tech recruiter since 2014. And I ain't gonna lie. And anybody who knows me personally know who I'm talking about. If Larry here, he definitely know who I'm talking about. This is my homeboy who, before he got that job, this nigga was a coon. Lifelong friend, love him. We met in church. But remember I told you I had a friend that when we were in college, he had white girlfriends? This is my friend. I said that I gave a story last week. When we were in college, his girl went to UCLA, and the nigga lived in a white sorority house for a full semester. This nigga used to be with his white girlfriend, and then when she would go to class, he'd fuck other girls in that sorority house on Hillgard at UCLA. This was the homie that just was all in that kind of world. So he ain't on no FBA. He ain't on. This nigga he just scared to fly. If this nigga wasn't scared to fly, he'd be a passport bro. I promise you. He got pulled into this arena that we're in right now through work. Yeah, my homeboy Reggie was a savage. I don't know how the fuck. We were talking about that last month, so I don't know how he did it. But when we were in college, he lived a full semester in a sorority house at UCLA, all white women and Asians. I think there was like one token black girl in there, and he stayed a whole semester. Shit, college was fun. College was fun. But listen to this part right here.
Me. Why do you feel the need to have to clarify your crystal clear statements about?
This is dude in the blue asking Dr. Smalls why he feels the need to clarify himself.
How ridiculous it is at times that people who are African Americans would not even give people a chance from the continent and talk crazy and call them tethers. And then when African Americans acting crazy, you correct them. Why now do you feel the need to, clarify what you say? I'm just
That I just played that little part to show how disrespectful homie is. Talking about why does he feel the need to clarify? Dr. Smalls is doing he's doing his best to bring clarity to what's happening, and you got some dude over here asking the doctor. Basically, what he's saying is that goes back into like Kanye West and all these people who offend Black America. They can apologize to the small hats. They can apologize to the LGBTQ. They can apologize to the midgets, but they never apologize to us. Dude in the blue is basically asking Dr. Smalls, why do you feel the need to apologize to them niggas? You're right, Charlie X. A very, very, very disingenuous question. Disingenuous. I'm over here sounding like Carcino. Oh, I love that channel, Carcino for Life. He be having some good, he be talking about some good shit. But he be like, it's disingenuine. I be like, disingenuous. There's no such word as disingenuine. Brother, disingenuous. That motherfucker, salute to that channel though. That's a dope YouTube channel. What's up, Hartoon? I ain't seen you in a minute. Now listen to this next part. This next part, you're gonna hear this dude talk about setting boundaries. This is the dude in the African / Indian multicolored jacket. You see it to the bottom right. This is that dude with the interesting looking jacket. Listen to what he has to say.
So I'm happy that you two allow me to take part in this. And I love Dr. Baba Small's heart.
Yeah, he
his
does.
love for our people. I have a kindred love for our people, but I think his brother Unc said sometimes we have to learn to set boundaries.
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
And I'm coming from
the dude with the multicolored jacket. Listen to what he said. We have to learn to set boundaries. Huh? We have to learn to set boundaries, huh? Oh. Now we can set boundaries. So when people talk shit to us and come to America, get benefits, send them back home, ain't no boundaries in. All the quote unquote FBA is noticing is people come here off rights our grandparents fought for, and they take those resources back to their community. That's where all this stuff is getting kicked. This is a resource argument. This is that St. Pierre chick saying that Black Americans, she's running for governor while saying Black Americans don't deserve reparations. President Obama, African, said that I'm gonna fall on the sword for the LGBTQ community, but I ain't giving you nigga shit. This is about Kamala Harris, Jamaican and Indian, saying, what do you think I'm gonna do anything for Black people? No. So we can't set boundaries, but y'all can? Because he's talking about setting boundaries for how we talk to them. Listen to this even more.
From a psychosocial perspective, and I mean that I always look at things from a clinical, individual, familial, and communal and societal type of boundary. And there's been many boundaries crossed.
Absolutely.
And part of the problem is that we gave people too much space in the first place. We gave people too much grace in the first place. We gave people too many passes and we looked past their flaws, because I want to be clear, and I
Make it very clear. When he said he's giving passes, he's talking about how they gave too many passes. Their community, I guess, gave too many passes to Tariq. They gave too many passes to a lot of us. You know, that old school Hotep community has always had an issue with the Hidden Colors era black folks. They always talked about a lot of black people, a lot of black folks that came into consciousness around the time, whether you saw Hidden Colors or not. But a lot of us who came into consciousness, those I say, because I've been around for a little longer, but a lot of people who came into consciousness post around the time Obama's second election is when a lot of black people started. Trayvon Martin started pushing a lot of people. Obama's president. We finally got a black president. And Trayvon Martin still happened. Eric Gardner still happened. Philando Castile, Sandra Bland. We can go down the line of all the things that happened during the Obama administration. That second Obama term pushed a lot of black people into consciousness. And a lot of young cats that was around in the 80s and the 90s, going to Bobby Hemmett lectures, 10-hour lectures. And salute to y'all. I'm glad y'all did that. But a lot of people from that generation been having a bug in their ass for those who came into consciousness post Trayvon Martin. Chat room number one. Chat room number one. Press the number one if y'all understand what I'm saying. Press the number one if you understand what I'm saying. That conscious community that was taking Dr. C.B. Herbs and Dr. Layla Africa Herbs in 1992, that community is at an issue with the people who came into consciousness post Trayvon Martin. Okay, so it's not just me. We got to bring that into context too. Because according to this dude with the blue jacket, we're not smart. According to the dude with the blue jacket, we just over here joshing around. Malik Baird, I appreciate the cash app, Malik Baird. Landon says in the super chat, jealousy is a very powerful emotion that people often underestimate. You're 100% right. Second Ezra says the Pan-Africans never tell truth about Africans selling us. They always say we were kidnapped. Facts. Christopher Ellis says I'm breaking down another broadcast. Yeah, we broke that down. Landon says life is a series of truths that are disproven and replaced by new truths. Those who cannot admit that they are wrong cannot grow as people. 1,000%. 1,000%. Christopher Ellis again says, oh no, I'll break that already. Second Ezra says again, Pan-Africans are cowards when it comes to calling out the disrespect from the diaspora. Pan-Africanism is an ideology that turned into a worship of Africans and Caribbeans. 100,000%. Chris Ellis says authenticity is what resonates with the black grassroots. Facts. And I don't trust what Christopher said. Don't get it twisted. I owe y'all niggas authenticity. You know why? Because the minute I stop being authentic, y'all gonna figure it out. The minute I stop being, if I ever stop being authentic, y'all gonna figure that shit out in a heartbeat. Difference is, I know that unlike a lot of people, ain't no white folks gonna be on the sideline to save me and give me a big ass contract. I know my loyalty is right here with the grassroots. No matter what happens, I do have a foundation that white folks donate to. I will say that people donate. I'm a Black American Music Family Tree Foundation. People of all races are open to donate to it, and I got people who have no issues with me talking about Black American music because they like Black American music. Hey, I got there's some white dudes that love the motherfucking Beatles. That they happy as fuck I did this tree because they know where the music come from, and these motherfuckers don't want to hear a motherfucking thing about Africa. They want to hear about America, and that's what we talk about here. My thing is I can work with anybody as long as you're willing to work with me, and working with me means this is the way I do it. I talk about what's going on here, and if you ain't with it, you ain't with it. But if you got love for me, and if you Pan-African, You can fuck with the project. Y'all Pan-Africans and want to show how Pan-African you are? Donate to a cause that talks about the Black American history of Black American music without any mission of Africa. If you're really Pan-African, donate to this. Are you? Or do I have to go ahead and set up a clinic in motherfucking Lagos first before you donate? How Pan-African are you really? So let's go back to this disrespectful shit this dude had to say.
I wanted to ask him, but I didn't want to, go. I'm kind of like a person that kind of stay in my place when I'm on somebody else's platform. So the thing is, I did want to ask though, and it doesn't need to be asked because I already know. Like, so he already answered it, but I just wanted to be clear that what I heard him say is that FBA he thought was a thing that was what people purported is a lineage, and then he started saying these other things which I call ideology and talking points and tenets of Tariqism, Nasheedism, or whatever ism. And basically this is what all people say, because I mean it was really hard, to be honest with you, Doc and Brother Unc, to look at the ignorance in the chat and also see this man pour his heart out as one who is authentic and really love our people, because you got to have a lot of love.
That was about 2 minutes of dude in the multicolored jacket talking, and in 2 minutes he didn't say shit. I kind of just have him playing because he's just talking. Just listen to this nigga talk.
Yeah.
For your people, because I mean he know what's happening in that chat, even though he didn't see it. Perhaps you have to have a lot of love for people who are hurt so bad. And what I'm saying is, if FBA is just a lineage, and you believe it is, it makes we can have the social scientific argument all day, but it is not that. It is an ideology that has been created by Tariq Nasheed, which morphs and evolves every moment.
See, he just talked for about 2 minutes and didn't say a motherfucking thing. Just babbling. This is what you get. This is what you get from folks when they don't have anything to say about what you said. They create strong arguments. But this is the guy that said we need to set boundaries. Except for when we set boundaries, it's a problem. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to this part right here.
No, y'all gonna hate, but y'all can't have an intelligent conversation.
This is dude in the blue. This dude in the blue shirt. I want y'all to hear what he has said. I'm giving my response. This is the dude in the blue hoodie.
Because it's a lineage. It's a lineage. Y'all sound like a bunch of new Nuwapians back in the damn day, man. Y'all don't even know it. And I know y'all gonna get mad at me. Know y'all gonna hate, but y'all can't have an intelligent conversation with me. Y'all always running. You will have Professor Smalls on your show, but I bet you gonna have me on there.
Hey, blue shirt. I'll have you on my show. He said we always running. Blue shirt said we always running. I'll be your Huckleberry. Set it up. I'm your Huckleberry. You want to talk about lineage business from multiple points of view? He said we always running. Running from who? Ain't nobody reached out to me. I'll debate any of y'all. That'd be easy. And I won't even crack jokes. I'll debate y'all without cracking jokes. What do you mean? You running from what? Dude thinks somebody's running. Listen to this. He thinks somebody's running from this.
They all be in. Because I want the smoke. I want you to prove this. Here you go. This is what I want them to verify. See, it all started right here. This is why I blame Professor Smalls. Because Professor Smalls believed that the original people of America was black. He do.
Right here, he plays a couple Tariq videos that have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on. He just plays some videos and plays some videos.
So here's the statement, Doc, and I'm gonna close it out with a statement. Here you go. This how I know it's all foolery. They can't defend this. So that's one thing y'all gonna have to step away from. Yeah, you may play with the word FBA,
Listen to
but I'd be
this.
damned if you ain't gonna step away from acting like the first people in America was black people. That's one thing. Share my screen.
He's
Doc.
saying that the first black people in America, he's saying that it's pseudoscience, saying that the first black people in America weren't black. Well, who were they then? Does this dude not know that black people were across the planet from day one? Like, this book by David Imhotep is a good one. The First Americans are Africans. There's a lot of these good books you can get. Talk about black folks in America. You know, you got Dr. Clyde Winters, The World History of the Black Race, and the blacks that was all across the planet, and even on the back cover here in North America. You know, like, it's a lot of places you can go. His whole point of view is black Americans, black people, dark skinned people weren't here in America. This nigga really thinks the Indians was here, right? He really thinks the Indians are like Charleston Heston. Okay. Yeah, Van Sertima. This is Mr. Academic, and he's just gonna discount Van Sertima like that? Are you serious? Shit. Yeah, you're right. They all need the base to boost their channel. Yeah, you're right about that. So yeah, okay.
That's what we not gonna do. We ain't doing that. Yeah, we ain't gonna do that.
So this is
Nope.
Blue Shirt playing a
I'm
video.
getting ready to close out, brother.
And he plays a video with basically Tariq talking about we were the Yamasee were Africans brought over here. Tariq has always stood firm on the point of everyone is African at some point in the history. That's something that he's been saying for a long time. So I'm playing a video with him saying that isn't a gotcha moment. The brother's been saying that for a long time. Me personally, I think that we're star seeds, but I don't get too much into what I think. I follow what I've read.
And we finish it with this.
Your lineage has nothing to. So how did your lineage get here?
Let me explain again.
This him playing a Tariq.
There was an ethnogenesis between black explorers, black aboriginal people, and black enslaved. There were three waves of black people here. There were already the black aboriginals that were here. Those were some of the Yamasee people who were on the East Coast. These were some of the black aboriginals that the European explorers said they saw when they got here. Then,
bro, what, bro?
This is the dude in the blue
Like,
playing
what?
Tariq's video.
There's no proof
Now he's
that
about
there
to
was
respond
black
to it.
aboriginals from native to America before the slave trade.
Okay, go get a book. When I name books, I give references.
Let me get to the part.
Professor Smalls.
Let me go to the part where he's talking.
Right there, right? I don't have nothing to say about
Listen
that.
to this.
That's my issue with this whole thing. That's my issue.
This blue shirt.
With Professor Smalls. He didn't check the nonsense at the door, man. You see, if you check that at the door, make them be clear, make them back it up with the academic studies, use STEM to identify and verify who we are, then you wouldn't have a problem with me. Never said you was a crook. Never.
So he's basically saying his issue is that Tariq wasn't vetted, I guess. They keep going back to Tariq. They keep making this about Tariq when it's not about Tariq. This is about us knowing who the hell we are. And this is about those of us who've taken the time to trace our own genealogy, our own ancestry, and tap in our choice to tap into our ancestors that are here. And just like y'all have the choice to tap into your ancient African ancestors, nobody's telling y'all not to tap into your ancient African ancestors. Is that if that's where you are, then that's where you are. I'm not going to call you stupid, unlike y'all. Y'all trying to disrespect those of us who tap into where we are here and are more focused on what happened here. Y'all disrespect us. Y'all try to malign us. Y'all try to talk bad about us. Y'all talk all kind of shit about us. And then when we come back and crack some jokes, y'all say, oh, why do these black Americans got to be so harsh in how they talk about and using words like tether? And they get caught up in some fake ass, righteous ass, why do they have to use these words? Because we motherfucking feel like it, nigga. That's why. What's up, Rocky? Rocky just walked up. We about to transition, talk about Robin Walker and what he had to say. Going just peacefully, letting the elders know where they went wrong with this shit. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all can go to patreon.com, sign up for the Patreon. You can also go to DewanB.com right now to get your Black American Music Family tree. Ain't that right, Rocky? Tell them to buy a tree so I can get you some more dog food. Rocky, like, yeah. You see him, Rocky? Say what's up to the people, Rocky. Okay, that's all you gonna say? All right. This little nigga does not bark. So that right there, in conclusion, from what I'm on for this first part, talking about these cats, is a very the two people on the right, blue shirt and and Twister jacket, like a game of Twister. They're very disrespectful, and they're very much so trying to play us for stupid and play it and cut it and play us short. That ain't gonna work. That ain't cool. Now I want to go to another point. I want to first start off with this video of Robin Walker talking about why Black Americans delineate. I'm gonna play this part from Dr. Robin Walker first, and then we're gonna go into what he said that you guys wanted me to talk about yesterday. That was absolutely wrong about Black American music. See, it's not about calling out. I'm not calling him out, but when certain things are obvious, we got to talk about it and address it from an academic point of view. That's the thing about academia. See, like, you saw that dude that called in yesterday. He asked me, "Okay, do I have education in it?" And when I showed the motherfucker my degree, he still didn't respect it. See, this is what happens with an academia. Unless something is a law, it is always up for debate. Terrell Evans says, I've been viewing a lot of Pan-Africanist panels and I've been discussing with their statements and responses. Let's just keep it a buck. A lot of these dudes are jealous of Tariq because the explanation for delineation has been explained. You're 100% right. A lot of these cats are just jealous. And that's their problem. How many Pan-Africans are upset about the word Akata? Great motherfucking question. Great question. But listen to Robin Walker talk about why we delineate. I want you guys to listen to Dr. Robin Walker, UK historian, talking about Black American delineation. Listen to this.
I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. This is what it is. There were too many black people from outside Africa, from outside America, going to America and playing the arse. And what it is African Americans spotted this and spotted that there's a consistent pattern. Black Caribbeans, black people from Africa going to America and being the arse. And what the FBA agenda is putting up a wall and saying, no, you guys can't be a part of this if you're going to be on that, raccoon train.
When you say playing the ass, what? Because from what I know, a lot of Africans, a lot of Caribbeans who go there, academically, they're surpassing them. And also business-wise, they're surpassing them. So who was playing the ass?
When they then use that to say, well, that means that you African Americans are lazy. Do you see? Yes. And then being on some right-wing conservatism, let's throw African Americans under the bus.
That is true.
Let's pretend that Jim Crow didn't happen, redlining didn't happen, breaking up of African American business districts, breaking up of African American families. The COINTELPRO didn't happen. The Iran Contras and then moving drugs into the black community didn't happen. Yeah, and there's a whole list of things continuing right up until now that the American government has done to African Americans. And so for those black people recently arrived from outside America, you all didn't face any of that. So of course you're going to be doing better than African Americans. Duh.
Yeah.
That's Robin Walker checking an African. And this is why a lot of y'all out there feel the way you feel about Dr. Smalls. If Mr. Robin Walker, Professor Robin Walker, Dr. Robin Walker can get this and understands this, why don't our own homegrown elders understand the same? That's where the issue that a lot of people have with Dr. Smalls comes from. You know what this is about. If that man from across the pond understands what black Americans are dealing with when confronted by blacks in the diaspora, anyone from here for damn sure should know what it is. And anyone that's from America that don't see it, as Dr. Robin Walker says, they're playing the Oz. Somebody said, "Why'd you vote for Joe Biden?" The fuck? Where the fuck has you been? Who the fuck in here voted for Joe Biden? Where you been? Everybody in here vote for no goddamn Joe Biden. Better check the channel, you stupid fuck. All the videos I did there against Joe Biden, against Kamala. The fuck is you talking about? Man, vote for no goddamn Joe. Fuck Joe Biden and his shag. That old King Friday looking bitch. People just be coming up in here with cliches like, why did you vote for Biden? This is a very anti-Biden channel. It's an anti-Trump channel too. Y'all can't come around here with these cliches. We smart over here. We're smart over here. You guys aren't ready for what's over here at this channel. You guys are used to following stupid motherfuckers that follow a bunch of stupid motherfuckers because you a stupid motherfucker. Grow some goddamn brains and know where you at. You better check the temperature of the room you in before you start trolling. Ben said, I voted for Cube that year. Right. I voted for George Clinton. So now me and Ben, we enemies. We on opposite sides of the aisle. You voted for Cube. I voted for Clinton. Let's argue like the rest of these niggas. Dumb niggas said, well, why did you vote for Biden? Who the fuck voted for Biden? All the hours this channel spent pointing out Biden's racism, I'm insulted. All right, so now I played what Robin Walker said about delineation because I want to make it very clear. This is a video that he did at the Hidden Science Academy where he talks about the journey of the drum and the evolution of rhythm. I saw the whole video. Most of the video is on point in a lot of ways. But when he gets to America and when he gets to funk, this is where the video goes off. And this is why I do my research. Because most music research, especially from black people, has been trying to find the connection to the diaspora. And I noticed this back when I was in college. Because when I was raised under cultural anthropology, we had to have 3 to 5 points of reference. And we had to be able to trace a lineage. When I was in anthropology class, when I took those classes, the way we could say, okay, this is Egyptian cotton and not Mississippi cotton, is because we can trace where a particular seed comes from, and that particular seed exists in no other region until a certain time you see that particular seed go across and then at a certain year and point lands over here. That's how you're able to trace. Like when you read They Came Before Columbus by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, there's a part in the book where it talks about African spears being in America because they tested the chemical components of the gold, and that particular kind of gold only been found over there on the continent and not here in America. And that's how they were able to trace the trade that went on between the two continents. And academically, that's how you trace things. You got to show it, prove, and the way you prove an origin point is by disproving that origin point had other points. Because if it had other points, now you're talking about polygenesis and not genesis. Like disco had a polygenesis in LA and Philadelphia musically with Love Unlimited Orchestra and the Sound of Philadelphia. That's my level of research. I go into the greats like Dr. Robin Walker. He is one of the greats, no doubt about it. The greats like Van Sertima, like Dr. Clyde Winters, and I got my blessing from Clyde Winters. Clyde Winters gave me a blessing when it came to my research. That meant so fucking much that a college professor academic gave me with a little old bachelor's degree, a stamp of approval. That felt so good. But that's because I used the academic standard. You got to be a trace. You get 3 to 5 points of references. Primary source, secondary source, first-hand experience. This is the level of detail that I bring when I present information to people. So for a lot of what I'm researching isn't something that's been keyed in on. It's there, but it just hasn't been keyed in on. And behind me, somebody else is going to come along and key on even further than what I'm keying on. So this is just about correcting this. So let's break this down. I'm going to play what he plays, then we're going to break it down.
The next development, 66 now, is the birth of funk. And as you know, who starts funk? There's only one person. The godfather of soul music, who was it? It was James Brown. All right, so now that you've had a schooling in this, you can tell me what the groove is. Does that make sense?
Here's the mistake he's making. He's using this song as an example as to what funk is, this James Brown song. Yes, it's true that James Brown created funk. But that's not one of the funk songs. That's not one of the. JC, the thing is, James Brown created music in a bunch of different genres, not just funk. But I'm gonna play it for you. This is the example that Robin Walker gives of funk. No, that's rock and roll. That's not funk. Although it's done by James Brown, this wasn't one of his funk songs. And he uses this song to tie American funk into African music, African rhythms.
You get it? Everyone got the song Clave. Everyone got that.
Listen to what he says.
Right, so essentially, funk is polyrhythmic soul. You get
He
it?
says funk is polyrhythmic soul. Let me see. I should I'm teaching my class. Yeah, I still got my slides. Let's let him play this part. He said funk is polyrhythmic soul. Let's let him keep going.
We've got several rhythms happening at once, and funk became so important that the basis of hip hop is funk. Does that make sense? All you do is you take James Brown, George Clinton, and sample them. And then once you've sampled them, chat on that, and you've got hip hop. Do you get it? Yeah? All right, now, Is this borrowing, appropriation, or development?
So let me go back to this part. I want y'all to hear this whole thing out, and I want to go back and break it down. He said that's funk. First off, I'm gonna rewind a little bit, then I'm gonna break it all the way down. All right. That's that Bo Diddley backbeat right there. That's not funk. That goes back to the blues. What that was James Brown playing the Bo Diddley backbeat. That wasn't funk. Okay. I'll play some samples for y'all. That's what James Brown was playing. James Brown was basically doing a reprise with an homage to Bo Diddley. When James Brown, that video that you saw, that's James Brown in the mid 60s. The sound that he was playing was the sound of the 40s and the 50s. We had evolved past that sound. Go back and listen to what James Brown is playing. That's not funk. DeJuan, you're asking me. You're being long-winded. What is funk? Let's break it down. What is funk? And you can find this on my Funk Radio playlist that is on Patreon. All the music that I play is also on Patreon. This is funk right here.
Roland, I know you got soul. I know you got soul.
That's funk. Does that not sound a lot different than this? What Robin Walker did was he played, and he's from the UK, so he probably doesn't know. But he played a song that wasn't funk. This is funk right here. That's funk. That's funk. This is funk.
Hit it.
With the shuffle.
Oh, how you feel?
That's funk. This is funk. That's funk. This is funk. That's funk. I can go all day talking about, want to know some deep funk? This is deep funk. Deep funk is that love music funk where I get real deep with the funk. This is deep funk. Don't you ever stop loving me. Keep on doing. Keep on doing what you do. That's deep funk. This is funk.
A good evening. Do not attempt to adjust your radio.
That's funk. This is funk.
Nothing.
That's a far different rhythm than this. That's not funk. That's Bo Diddley. This is Parliament's first. When Parliament went from heavy metal rock to funk, this was Parliament's first funk song right here. Up for the downstroke. That's funk. This is funk. That's funk. This is funk. I'm drilling this in y'all head.
Yo, this is.
That's funk. That's funk. This isn't funk. Although it was played by James Brown, it wasn't funk. Now let's go into Dr. Rob Walker's explanation. Y'all hear that? Am I being clear? Am I being clear? Okay, he said, okay, that was all part of it in James Brown funk. I'll bring in some slave. This is the evolution of funk right here. What y'all know about that? And I just want to snap. That's Bo Diddley. This is what James Brown was playing. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Look, I'm pleased that everyone got the song Clave. Everyone got that. All right, so essentially,
listen to what he says funk is.
Funk is polyrhythmic soul.
No. Soul is already polyrhythmic. You want to hear some soul music that's polyrhythmic? Here, let me see. This is soul music. A song called So in Love by Curtis Mayfield. Polyrhythmic. Polyrhythms. More than one rhythm playing at once. First off, the drums are polyrhythmic. Eighth note on the hi-hat, one rhythm. Half notes on the snare, 2 and 4. It looks like hesitated eighth notes on the kick. 1 and 2. Those are 3 different rhythms being played at once. While the organ is playing at a totally different tempo. That's another rhythm. And then the bass. Polyrhythms is everybody playing different parts. All the instruments are playing different parts. Soul music is already polyrhythmic. It didn't need funk to become polyrhythmic. Y'all want to go back to even deeper? Let's go back even further. This is soul music. You got the strings playing one rhythm. You got the bass playing another rhythm. You got the drums playing 3 rhythms at once. It's polyrhythmic already. This is soul music. Then you got the background singers coming in. It's polyrhythmic already. You don't need funk to make our music polyrhythmic. All of it's polyrhythmic. All of it. All of it. So his definition of funk isn't what it is. Funk is on the one. That's what funk is. What makes something funky is the placement of the accent. That's what makes something funky. The placement of the accent. Oh, I had that picture the whole time? I'm sorry, I know I had that picture up. Yeah, this song is polyrhythmic and it's not funk. This is very much so polyrhythmic, but it ain't funk.
Look, I'm pleased that everyone got the song Clave. Everyone got that.
Now listen.
All right, so essentially,
that's what he has as far as what funk is. Let me tell you what I showed my students this past Sunday in class about funk. Because we just happened to be talking about funk in class this past Sunday. Funk is a child of rhythm and blues. It has the emotional vocals of R&B and gospel, blues storytelling, and the difference is a focus on the one and sharp bebop style horns. Fred Wesley, Maceo Parker, James Brown's music director. I'm drawing a blank to his name. It starts with an A. I'm drawing a blank to his name. Chat room, give me James Brown's music director. He's the one that created the whole sound. His name starts with an A. I'm just drawing a blank right now. The first funk song created Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. That's James Brown funk. That's what makes it funk is the identifiable accent on the one. Listen to when he plays. Look. One, two, that heavy one. That's what makes the song funk. Heavy on the one. Heavy on the one, and not just heavy on the one. That was the initial identifier of funk. Certain bands like the Ohio Players, their funk is played through the texture of their sound more so than accents on the one. But funk is on the one. That's why you always hear, y'all ever listen to a lot of people say, like back in the 70s, if you listen to the lyrics, a lot of times you hear them say, on the one, that's what they mean. That's what they mean. This is funk. Say oops, upside the head, say oops. The heavy accent on the one. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. That's what makes it funk. Even you can hear it in the music. Even George Clinton always talked about everything been on the one. Hear this. This is a song. This is a song that by Funkadelic called Everything Is on the One. First accent. One. That's what funk is. Here we go. You don't want to listen to me? Oh, Dewan. Oh, you're not a scholar? Although I played the drums in church for 20 years. Okay, I'm not a scholar, whatever. Let's listen to Bootsy Collins explain it.
You know, it's however you feel, but you just have to fit it between that space, that little space that you got, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, you know? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And then
you got it? So if you didn't learn it from me, did you at least learn it from Bootsy? That's the one. That's the funk. And the funk is also bigger than the one. It's how you play the note, man. That's the reason why only Black Americans. See, there's a reason why. This is how you know our music is ours, not African. Africans don't play funk. Funk is a texture that comes through only our experience because we created the texture. It's how you play it. It's playing between the notes, not on it. You know? It's all about playing in between the beat. You know what I mean? In between the notes. And what happened is a lot of this is going to be edited. The edited version is going to remain on YouTube. The version with all the music is going to be in the member section and over on Patreon. But this is the funk. Did you notice how your face turned when that came on? That's the funk. The funk is a texture that make your face go, ugh. That's the funk. Not with Mr. Robin Walker. This isn't the funk. When he was playing that other, let me see. Does this make your face turn? Does that make your face turn? Does that make you chat room? Is it just me? Is it just me? This is funk. Where is it at? You see how they made you do that? You see how I made that shit? That shit made your face turn. Funk it is an. How dare you, with respect, Dr. Robin Walker? How dare you mischaracterize the funk? We Americans take this shit serious, brother. Another characteristic of funk is putting the bass out as the lead. Not all funk, but a lot of funk has a bass lead, where it's really the bass that's really the pattern, what people are feeling, like brick. That bass lead. That's funk. This isn't funk. So that's what you have to watch out for when it comes to teaching. You gotta make sure that things aren't mischaracterized. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, this is no Hollywood Square.
Mm-hmm. This is funk. I played this last time on here. Y'all heard Too Short remake this. This is why hip hop is so close to funk. Y'all heard Too Short remake. That's what makes it funk. What makes it heavy on the funk is that doom. That's funk. We can't let these people mischaracterize our shit to fit it into Africa. And that's what happens all the time. That right there is what happens all the time. When they connect our music to Africa, they have to either take some small, minute figment of a song that doesn't even exist in most songs and say, hey, because of that tiny slither figment of a part of a song, it's African. Or they go all the way on the other side and take a song that's not even funk and say it's funk to connect it to Africa. So I gave y'all what, about 20 different music examples? See, I know I don't have a PhD. And a lot of you, not y'all in here, but a lot of people out there, they want to know what kind of degree you got. So I know I ain't got a PhD. So since I ain't got a PhD, I know I got it when a person that wears a suit and don't smoke weed, all they gotta do is have some, or if they got a goddamn hotep hat on and a dashiki, they get to say what the fuck they want to say, and you gonna believe it's African. But here you got this fat ass weed smoking nigga that don't have a PhD telling you that's not what it is, so you don't want to hear it. So I know I gotta come with three, four times the information these other cats gotta come with. Ain't no Pan African gonna have the level of the depth of resources that I have when it comes to music. Why? Because our music is not African. You gonna tell me about polyrhythms? You gonna tell me about, and this isn't just Robin Walker. This is in general now. I'm speaking in general now. You gonna tell me about polyrhythms? You gonna tell me about a banjo? You gonna tell me about the blue notes and a whole bunch of shit that's or the drum. And when it comes to the drum, your drum ain't our drum. And I've proven that. Will there be a mixed talk breakdown? I'll do a mixed talk breakdown. Yeah, Chris, I will. I will. I'll go full. I'll do a mixed talk, not tonight, but I'll do a mixed talk and the Patreon. So you'll get a notification since you're on Patreon of me breaking this all the way down from that point of view. Appreciate that thoughts of a wildflower. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat. So, do we get it now? Do we get it? Do any of y'all want to call in? Do any of y'all want to call in? Anybody disagree? If you disagree or something like that, call in. If you need clarity, call in. I'm not going to be on the phone too long. I'm not going to be here too long, but if you need clarity, if you need me to explain something more in depth, call in. You got an issue with what I said? Call in. 323-388-3315. See. Come on, now. I'm trying to answer the call. There we go.
Call from.
There we go. I got this little screen in my way. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jacoby from Portland, Oregon, Dewan.
Jacoby from Portland, Oregon. What's on your mind, brother?
Man, I want to kind of address the FBA lineage and what's been going on. And I'm not liking what I'm seeing. And why I say that is look, Tariq came a long way. That man has changed. He has elevated himself. He has matured over time. He never took any disses at Professor James Smalls. As a matter of fact, they had this same similar issue, I think, a few years ago, and they squashed it and addressed it. So it's not to say he's never addressed it. They both have. But when you say things without saying it, talking about CIA, why would you even say that on a African stream? What was the whole point of you saying that and trying to antiquate that we are co-opted? It's been very clear that FBA is a lineage, not a slogan. It's an identifier to identify who you are and what you contribute, your ancestors have contributed to this country. All nations do it. All nations do it.
Yeah, Dr. Small said that from his point of view, when he explained himself, He wasn't called. And I'm just speaking for what he said on the show. When he explained himself, he said that he wasn't calling Tariq a CIA agent. He was saying that these are styles that are used in similar type movements in the past. Take from that where you may.
Yeah. I agree. He never said Tariq, but the whole point it was kind of implied within and without bringing some context to it. Now you have people going in on him because now he had to address it on his channel, saying that, hey, look, I'm not doing this no more. I'm no longer associating myself with Professor James Smalls, and I'm going to remove him from the Hidden Colors. So it hurt Tariq more than anything else. I mean, this man, I'm not saying this man is a savior, but I'm calling right is right, wrong is wrong. If you felt like you were disrespected, I mean, how long you going to continue FBAs continue to keep being disrespected and not expecting the blowback?
And that's the major question right there, brother.
And what I took from it was, I don't care if he is. This is what it sounded like to me. I don't care if he is an elder or not. He's an elder. He can talk any way he wants to. You're not supposed to say anything. You're supposed to take it up the ass. And then you have Dana with the data, and I'm real disappointed.
I saw a little bit of that.
She was very egregious, and she was coming from an emotional point that she felt that Tariq had disrespected an elder. Now, if everybody knows Tariq back in the day, this man will make puppets.
He will. I don't want to go too deep into it. I got a bunch of other calls waiting, brother.
Yeah, but I didn't like that.
Yeah,
and
man.
Dr. Mayat should have had a more balanced panel. That wasn't balanced.
Yeah, I hear you on that, man.
I'm not saying
Thanks for giving us a call.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's a whole lot going on with that. And appreciate the super chat. It says, great show, I learned something. I appreciate that. 1 second, caller. And Nubian Ghost said, the guy from the video earlier didn't realize that you were a music historian and studied music as a science and pulled out yesterday. Yeah. That dude was on some shit yesterday. When I pulled that degree out, he wasn't ready for it. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
What's going on with it, man? This is Auto Choice Town Business.
Auto Choice Town Business in this motherfucker. How's it going, brother?
Hey, man, I love you, boy. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? From Gemini to Gemini, man, I'm really glad you did tap into that numerology side, man, the card reads, man. So that's something that us Geminis really need to get into because we're good at explaining it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I didn't bring up the card say, but yeah, the card said that back in January. What do we say? The same team is going to be fighting this year. That's what this year's fight's about.
Hello.
It's about clearing house from within. It's just this time I was laughing when it was Nick Fuentes versus Tucker Carlson. Now it came back to two people I respect. So it's like, damn. Chances go round. I respect both of these brothers, and I'm always going to. I still respect Brother Smalls, but for those people who don't, I get it. I mean, I'm not going to argue with none of y'all either. I'm like, shit, this is cool.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we just got to keep it on the academic level.
Yeah.
Because, we want, sometimes we talk about pulling up and all that type of stuff in the comments. I think those are bots, people who get real disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really take, and I hope everybody else understands that there are CIA operatives and creations in this technology. So you may be talking to a fake person.
Very much so.
So just remember that, because they're gonna give another person ammunition, and they're gonna give another person ammunition, and they're gonna watch us destroy each other. So let's just try to keep it academic.
Real talk, brother, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
All right, now have a good one.
Yeah. Y'all going in on Dana with the data. Hey, for those of you who saw Dana's video, my God, y'all lit her up in her comments. Yo! And y'all lit Dr. Ma'at up in her comments. Like, I'm not saying anything about Dr. Ma'at. She was I see what some of y'all saying in there. I don't want to have any issues with me and Dr. Ma'at. She sometimes as a host of a show, you can be put in a situation you don't necessarily know where your panelists are gonna go. So, but y'all was in the comment section on her video and Dana's video. You niggas was going in. I was like, y'all diabolical. What's up? What's up, Carter? What's the name? Where you calling from?
What's going on? LC, calling from LA, Crenshaw District.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, all I gotta say is like, as far as like whether it's our elders or if it's like celebrities or anything like that, the people that mess up and say the wrong things or say anything that go against our progress, we're gonna have to put to ask. And then the people that do good, we're gonna have to praise them. So we just have to punish those that do wrong and praise those that do right. When people do wrong, you know what I'm saying? Even when it's celebrities, even when it's people that we always love and respect and admire. And second thing, I have a question. Are you when are you going to put out that documentary about low riding culture out of Los Angeles?
I gotta do my documentary about gospel music first, because I've been working on it for 2 years.
Okay.
And it's just
Okay.
I've had everything get thrown in my way. I wanted that out a year ago, but I've had everything in my way from getting that out. Doing this on a shoestring budget, and
okay.
but what I'm doing with the lowriders, I'm interviewing a bunch of lowriders. I had an interview set up for last week when it was raining. I got to call the lady again, but she's like the first lady of lowriding. She's won all the awards for lowriding. I'm gonna interview her, and she's putting me on to a lot of people in that lowriding community. So what I'm doing is, I don't know if you subscribe to Incense and Ashtrays yet. That channel. Subscribe.
No, I'm gonna subscribe today. Actually.
Yeah, subscribe to that channel. I already put out an interview with the first lowrider. I'm about to do a series of interviews with lowriders and put them out on that channel, because I don't have time to do a documentary yet. So I just want to interview and put them out, just so the information can be out there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Well, before you go, yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you could interview that guy that had that lowrider that Ice Cube was riding in that brought it out. He was also a brother too, out of what is it, West Covina or something.
Okay.
But yeah, he's the one that had that Dodger lowrider that Ice Cube drove out for the after during the World Series. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. You have a good one. Yeah, I'm documenting the lowrider history. It's just that I've had in the gospel. It's been a little slow coming out because it's just been a lot of life that's been happening. You dig? But call back. The person that just called in. Yeah, Dana, y'all went in on Dana with the data, man, because she be calling in on Star Report, and she does the show with Judge Joe Brown. Like, 'cause I ain't got any issues with Dana, but that day, yeah, y'all went in. Oh, what's up? Hold on, Sincere. You said she took shots at you directly? Now that's not cool. I didn't see that. She takes shots at you for? Or was it when she's talking about the person who titled the show? But I didn't think that's Sincere. I don't think you're the one that had that. You aren't the one that had the title. Is he CIA? I think I do remember. Not that ain't cool.
AGC.
Because Sincere, and I want to salute Sincere, the other guy, because he's the one that really brought this story out there. People are crediting other channels, but it was Sincere's channel that really made this. That I first saw the story come up on Sincere and Nicety Girl. So salute to those two for even bringing this story up. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
AGC out of Houston.
What's on your mind, brother?
That example that you played of Robin Walker's attempt to show funk music, it kind of sounds more like jazz instead of funk to me.
It was blues. It was Bo Diddley. It was the Bo Diddley style. It's called that beat is called the Bo Diddley backbeat.
Yes,
and that rhythm comes out of that rhythm is similar to a Native American rhythm that's out of the one of the East Coast tribes. That's somewhat similar to an African rhythm, but they're Native American rhythms that had that rhythm too. But it was really Bo Diddley that brought that rhythm out in the 1940s.
Excellent. That was it. It definitely was not funk.
Hell no, it wasn't funk.
The expression that I have also is when you say you screw your face up, instantly it's a reflex.
It's a reflex. That's why it's called funk. If you don't, if the music don't make you do that, then it's not funk.
And I thought of Rick James when you talked about the bass being the lead. So the immediately I was like, oh, Rick James definitely would be in that category.
Oh yeah, Rick James punk funk was his category. Rick James was yeah. Rick James. You mean something like this?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the funk. You're right about that, man. But thanks for giving us a call.
Thank you.
Yeah, he tried. I love Dr. Robert Walker, but that was a poor example of funk. This is the funk.
Well, all right, you squares, it's time you smoke.
Listen what he says.
Fire up this funk.
Fire up this funk and let's have a toke. Fire up this funk and let's have a toke. That's what that is. That's what the funk is, bass led. That's the funk. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Dana, I just only watch her on when she calls it a star. But I saw a little bit of that show with Star. Yeah. I mean, when she talked about this whole situation, y'all went in, and I was in the comments laughing my ass off, like, Lord, I hope I don't never say no shit like to have y'all on my ass like that, boy. God damn. If the people ain't with me, the people is all I got, man. The people ain't with me, I ain't got shit. I like being with the people, man. Fuck that. I like being with the people. I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Again, correction, Robert Walker, great job on the overall. That video he did was great, but you can't connect us to you cannot connect the funk to Africa. You can't. The only way the funk can be connected to Africa is if you use a song that's not funk. All right. Thank y'all again for listening. The full version will whatever I have to edit out is going to be edited out here for YouTube, and the full version of this will be up over on Patreon and here for the members. All right. Thank y'all again. We out.